Crafters. I'm finally a little bit capable of doing a live again. It was such a week, my goodness. But I kept my promise this time, and I found some time in between all hospital visits to do some crafting. So um, I wanted to show too that I did in the video. Hi Janine, hi Sonia, hi sweeties, how are you? I finally once kept my promise. Most of the time when I say I do, I will make a sample when I have time and stuff like that. I'm never coming around. So hi Aya, hi Nisi, hi Lani, hi Cheryl. First, I want to apologize for all the people who sent me an email. Some emails are 3 pages long, and I got so many emails, and my brain wasn't capable of reading them all. So if I do not respond, it doesn't mean that I don't read them and that I do not appreciate, but I'm only one person, and I need to take care of Ben and make sure he's at the right place at the right time and stuff like that. So forgive me. It's not that I don't read them, but it's hard to reply to all of them. Hi, Teresa. Thank you. Yeah, I curled my hair a little bit. I just washed my hair, so it's now really bouncy. But oh my goodness, I'm getting gray. Oh, you can see that I'm getting older. My goodness, I have so many gray hairs. Well, in 1 month, I will be 47. So I think it's time for a few extra gray hairs. Hi, Maria. Hi, Francine. Hi, Jans. Hi, Yvonne. How is Ben? Well, normally I will tell the story at the end. I will try to tell it as short as possible. I need to close my curtains because the sun is shining straight into my face. The last time I spoke to you guys, it was drama with his jaw. And the doctors weren't sure if he was capable of doing this or starting his treatment. But the drama went on. The doctors told us no, and we had to wait a week after they pulled out those 2 teeth. Later on, that was a few days later, Ben started to get a lot of pain. We called to the hospital and they didn't even want to help us. I was furious. So I called back and forth between hospitals, the hospital that's nearby our house and the hospital that's in Amsterdam. And because I was calling persistently, I got hold of a jaw surgeon. He was prepared to come to the hospital on a Saturday, and he discovered that because Ben was suffering pain from what later was clear, a piece of bone that was sticking out, and it was so sharp that he cut open his tongue. After that, a few days later, he started to get a lot of pain. Calling back to the hospital didn't want to help. It was in the middle of the week, so I called the dentist. I told them, listen, could you please make a picture of his jaw? Every day counts. And see if there is an inflammation. And they told us, come over, we will help you. So we went to the dentist. They made a picture again. And guess what? There was a starting inflammation going on. So they cleaned out his whole jaw. And finally, after an hour, he was pain-free. But I was so frustrated. One time I called the dentist and they don't want to help. And I called the hospital and they say, come on over. And that went on and on. And So the last visit was on a Tuesday to the dentist. They cleaned out his jaw. I went and got a special syringe so he could clean it himself after he eat his food. And I got some mouth water that after he drank or eat something that he could clean his jaw. And then the dentist told us, let's give you a 5 days, 5 day cure of antibiotics. And I had something like, oh no, is that really necessary? Yeah, he told us, yes, it's really necessary because there is an inflammation. And if he goes into his chemo like this, it will be his death. So, okay, I, the Friday, we needed to go into chemo. Ben needed to go in chemo. The dentist was on Tuesday. And on Thursday, the hospital called us that we needed to come over so the jaw surgeon could check how well his jaw was healed. And so we were waiting in the waiting room. And while Ben was waiting for to visit the jaw surgeon, I wasn't able to go with him into the room. So I thought, well, let me go downstairs to the lady that helps Ben with his cancer. There's the cancer department, one story down. So I went there, I talked to the lady, and the lady told us, listen, Nicole, the antibiotics is not a problem. You can go into chemo even if you are on antibiotics. So I was like in an euphoric state, like, oh, that isn't the problem. That is not something that can stop him having chemo. So I went upstairs, and 5 minutes later, Ben was coming out, but he was wearing his face mask because our hospital says we have to wear face masks. So I didn't see it the first second, and then he started talking, and I was like, what did they do? And then they discovered at the other side there was also a piece of bone sticking out, but that was dying. It was black. And I couldn't think straight. The only thing was, I want to go outside. I need to take a breather. This is totally something I didn't expect. But Ben needed to wait in the waiting room because they need to take new pictures, and he needed to go to the jaw surgeon again after the picture was taken. So Ben told me, listen, Nicole, go outside. I will take care of this. I was breaking down like a little kid. I went downstairs to the lady from the chemo department, and I was sobbing. I had something like, my biggest fear with all this waiting until his jaw is healed is that I get news later on in a few months, Nicole, we started the chemo too late, and now we can't help him anymore. Now we can't save his life anymore. And that was going even to until this moment. Okay, I'm not going to cry. Even until this moment, it gets to me. So the lady, her name is Marianne, she saw the doctor that treats Ben for his cancer passing by. So she clamped onto him, and she told him that I was losing it. And so he went over to the department of the jaw surgeon, and they looked both inside his mouth. And yeah, no, sorry, he didn't go there. The jaw surgeon told Ben that he didn't think it was a smart idea to start the chemo now. After he looked at the second picture. So I had something like, how long does this take? So we went downstairs talking to Marianne again, and then went home. And we were all both lying on our beds and having something like, when can we finally get a green light and start chemo? And while we were almost falling asleep, and it was the middle of the day, but we were just mentally tired, our phone rang, and Ben, his cancer doctor, let me call him a cancer doctor because I don't know the specific names, called, and he told us, well, make sure you're at the hospital at 9 o'clock tomorrow. And we were like, tomorrow? Why 9 o'clock? What must we go and do? Well, your chemotherapy can continue. And we were in total shock, like, okay, hold on. What's this? We just talked to the jaw surgeon and he told us it's not a smart idea to do it. And now you are telling us it's a smart idea. Like, we were like gobsmacked. Yeah, it's really unreal. Yeah. So I asked him questions, but isn't that very dangerous to do? Because his jaw isn't healed, it's an open wound. Then he told us, listen, Nicole, what we wanted to do was put the dots on the I. That's an expression in the Netherlands. I don't know if that's in your country an expression, but to make things, to have the best starting point by making sure his jaw was healed before we go into chemotherapy. So, but he told us, listen, you are right, Nicole. Waiting longer isn't an option anymore because Ben was losing his balance because the tumor was pushing in his ear on his balance. Swallowing was a problem. So just saliva swallowing was a problem already. And eating one sandwich took him 45 minutes to be able to get it inside his body. So his walking, when he stood up from the couch, he was subsiding to the right. So it was going like he was drunk. And I saw that get worse and worse each day. And I saw the lump in his neck grow and grow. And he was complaining that almost his whole throat was covered by the tumor inside. So the doctor told us, waiting isn't an option anymore because your husband needs to eat. And I had something like, yeah, I could tell you that. I don't need to be a doctor for that. And I don't want to sound nasty because it's a really nice doctor and he does a good job. But he wants to make it clear to me why he decided to continue with the chemo. And so it's a big risk to do chemo with an open wound inside your mouth, but it's also a risk to wait at least 3 weeks before his jaw was healed. So we had to choose from two very bad options. So we did all we could. I bought a watering can so I could put boiled water inside. So after he drinks or eats, he can, with a special syringe, clean his wounds inside his mouth. Right, Jeff? Wait a minute. I think I need to. What is? What is? Come on. Moet je in? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Sometimes she wants to be in the cupboard. Well, let her go. So, we had to choose between two very difficult options. Having the risk of a bacteria getting into his jaw, and he needs to go to the hospital and hope for the best, or hope for the best that we wait 3 weeks until his jaw fully is healed and then go into chemo. But we didn't have an option. Ben didn't have an option because 3 weeks would mean that He couldn't swallow, he couldn't eat, he would have to sit in a wheelchair, and it wasn't an option anymore. So I let Ben decide what he wanted to do, and he told us, listen, I'm going to take care of the wound. I make sure that I clean it as much as I can, um, and hold myself to all rules that I do it the best I can to keep it clean. And he told us, listen, I want to start the chemo too. So Friday morning, we stood up at 7 o'clock in the morning. We got dressed, went to the hospital, but I was not allowed to go with him onto his first chemo. And but because we had so much bad luck, they told me, well, the first 10 minutes we will allow you to be there so you can listen what he needs to go through. So I was happy with the 10 minutes I got. And we went into the room. She made a cup of tea for us, explained what would happen. And then Ben could pick out a chair in the room with all people who needed to be treated for cancer. It's a special room. And so I kissed him goodbye, and I went home, and I left him there around 9 o'clock in the morning, and he needed to have 6 bags of fluids. And I picked him up at 2:30 in the afternoon. Yeah. And I have to say, his lump, and we are only 2 days in, is already 50% less. So I am totally shocked how fast this is going. I know we're not there by far because he needs 5 more of these chemos. He almost slept the whole Friday, the whole Saturday, and today already 3 times. He sleeps a lot, but that's very common. But yeah, he can eat a sandwich within 10 minutes, and before here it was 45 minutes. So yeah, but it's still a very precarious situation, because if he gets an inflammation inside his jaw, he needs to be rushed to the hospital, and it can mean that he's dead. But yeah, it's still very, very, very nerve-wracking. But they told us that this would happen, that the swelling would go down, and he would notice it within 2 days, or at least 1 day. But today we noticed the biggest difference. So his neck is not as swollen anymore, and inside his mouth, it's almost 50% smaller already now after 2 days. So yeah, we check his temperature, and trust me, we do everything. He isn't allowed to clean any toilets or the litter box of Lotje. That's all stuff that I do just to prevent him from getting any kind of bacteria, even if it's from breathing the air inside. Yeah. What he does is makes me loads of cup of teas, and all the rest I do. But I don't mind if that means that he will be safe and not has an inflammation inside his jaw. Then I'm already happy, and he is doing remarkably well. We were afraid that he would be way sicker than he is. He even makes jokes, and he even is like in a very good mood when he's not sleeping. He sleeps a lot. I think 20 hours of the day he is sleeping. So he is now going to shower, I believe. I think I hear the shower. I don't know for sure. But he is downstairs, and he is doing well. He is not nauseous or something like that. They gave him medicine against it, but that doesn't mean that he will not get affected by nauseousness. But yeah, for now, up until now, it's all going well. So yeah, praise the Lord. Thank you. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Janine. Yeah, it's getting smaller. That's the best way to discover if he has an infection. Yeah, I know. Trust me, I went to the pharmacy and got all things that I possibly could need because I don't want to lose him. His body needs to rest. Yeah, and sleeping is healing. Yeah, I know. But I don't mind if that helps him. Um, Even if he sleeps for 22 hours. At least give me 2 hours on the day with him, if you know what I mean. And the most difficult part for me is that him and I suggested it, we agreed, or I made a, how do you explain it? I told Ben I don't think it's a smart idea that we kiss mouth to mouth because your mouth is the biggest source of bacteria. So I told him, okay, even if that means that I can't give you a kiss on the lips for 6 months, or at least until your jaw is healed, I will kiss you on the cheek or on the forehead or on your hand, but I don't want to be the person that gives any bacteria to you. So from the moment he went into chemo, we kissed for the last time there, and I will give him the biggest kiss after he did all his 6 treatments. Um, but yeah, I think it's smarter to not kiss him on the mouth, so I will do it on his cheek. It's a little bit awkward to kiss your own husband on the cheek, I have to admit, but I'm willing to, how do you say that? I'm willing to do stuff like that just to prevent him from getting any bacteria that I have in my mouth. So, yeah, sacrifice. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was looking for. Thank you. Thank you, Ingrid. Chemo wears on the body and that sleeps a lot. Nicole, keep all your records of this, and when it's over, if you can, I would sue the dentist. Oh, trust me, that dentist is not. I'm not done with him. Trust me, I'm not done. I can be very nice, and I always consider other people's feelings, and I always try to do look from things from both sides. But if they do stupid things while they should know better, then this lady can be, you know what. It starts with a B. Trust me. And I will stay nice, but I will let them know that I'm not a happy camper about what they did. But, thank you, Laura. Hi, Tanya. Hi, sweetie. Sorry that I didn't say anything. Hi, Sue. Okay, now to the fun part. While I was feeling a little bit down and tired, and I had something like I want to do something, but not a lot, I made something with the die set that I showed you from Beki Cat, this die set. And I posted it on my Instagram, but people think it's a box, and it's not. It's a box card. So I thought I would show it in this live stream. But this is how it looks when you put it together. It's open at the bottom, and you can fold it flat to put it in an envelope. But it's like a box card. And of course, you can do way more things, but I only wanted to use the stuff that's in the die set itself, so you have a little bit of an idea on how it looks when you put it together. But you can decorate it with flowers and with those fun dolls, or color something in, or you know what. but yeah, I thought I would make something so you have an idea. The size when it is assembled, come on, Nicole, you can do this with the English, is 13 centimeters by almost 10 centimeters, and in inches, that's almost 4 inches by 5 inches. So 4 by 5 inches. So 5 and 4 inches. Then you have an idea on how it will look. Thank you. You both are so beautiful, lovely people. Ah, thank you, Aya. Don't make me blush. I believe you have to take care of hubby who had complication. Oh, yes, even 8 years after cancer still makes everything more difficult. Oh, sweetie, please take care of your husband and give him a big hug from us. And of course, a hug from me to you as well. And also, I promised to make or to put this one together so you have an idea. This is the takeaway box that I showed. It's available in Beki Store. And this is the die set. It also has 2 cups. Oh, you are sneaking in. Did you see him sneak in? He sneaked in. And this is how the box look. Ben, yeah, they all want to see you. They all asked me. So, but this is how the box looks. I will get him. Trust me. It's also 5 inches by at the widest. It's 2.5 inches. So this part is 2.5 inches, and the box itself is tall 3.25. So, yeah. Ben, they all call Ben. Come, Ben. They all want to see you, how good you're doing. So, see, the swelling is a lot less. See?
It reduced more than 50%.
Yeah, I just
Also
told
in my
them.
throat.
Yeah, I just told them. Yeah. And I'm so happy. Can you lift up your jaw? Yeah, even this is way less than it was because it was very big. It was like this. So it's almost 50%. So yeah, I'm so happy. Huh?
Me too.
And I'm happy that you don't feel as sick from your chemo.
No, only tired.
Yeah, but your hair will fall out in the next week, I think.
I have scrubbed it 4 times.
4 times.
Yeah.
And it's still stuck to your head.
It's still stuck.
Yeah, the swelling is coming down. So thank you all. Yeah, we are
feeling a lot better than a week ago.
Yeah, he feels a lot better than he felt a week ago, he's telling me. So now is only hoping and pray he doesn't get an inflammation inside the open wound that's in his jaw, because that can turn all things upside down. But keeping my fingers crossed, keeping praying a lot. And I even asked my my parents to put on a candle. There is a little chapel in the city that I am born in, and the chapel is dear to my heart. I'm a Christian, and I called my parents because, yeah, they live 150 kilometers from me. No, 130 kilometers from me. And so I called my mother in the morning, and the morning that Ben was having his chemo, and I was sobbing. And I asked my mother, Mom, could you please, please, please go to that chapel and burn a very big, humongous candle for Ben? And she did. So, yeah. Even until now, that's... Don't look at me.
Sorry.
See, I wouldn't cry. Come on. Yeah. Do you think so, Sonia? You made me laugh. Thank you, Laura. Dank je wel. For some people, candles doesn't mean a lot, but for me, it meant a lot. She even made a picture for me, I believe, that I still got it. I'm not sure. I don't think my. Um, See, why can't I say something without crying? No, I can't find the picture this soon, but from my experience with cancer, his open wound may take longer to heal because of chemo. Yeah, so be aware of that, Nicole. To be afraid to cry, it's okay. We understand. Thank you, Lani. Cry if you need to. If you cry on the inside, you will mildew. Yeah, I know. Uh, thank you, Vanessa. See, yeah, it ever one time. The, I will show you something that I made in a second, but this is something that I wanted to tell you guys. Ben is what they call a non-believer. He doesn't believe in any kinds of gods or whatever. And then when we met, I told him, "Listen, I'm Catholic, and I don't mind if he doesn't want to believe. He doesn't believe." So we never spoke about it or argued about it or whatever. He believes there is something, but he can't um, put it into words. That's what he believes, and I strongly believe in Lord. And one day, I don't know what happened. I believe I got into a word fight with my mother because my mother and I are water and fire. And I told him that I wanted to visit a kind of chapel nearby. So we went on the internet, looked one up that was nearby, and we went there. And it was in the woods, and it was covered with branches. It was open on both sides, but there was a very nice statue of the Lord and a place where you could put candles and some benches. And I went inside together with Ben, and I put some money into the box and bought some candles and lit them up. And so I put them in the cups that are for the lights, and we went to sit down. And I was just quiet, and Ben was sitting next to me. And I was looking beside me, and he started to cry. And I had something like, okay. And I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to take away the moment. Is that a good way to say it? So, or wasn't that the moment that your mother just passed? Yeah, it was the moment that your mother just passed. That was it. Ah, sorry, sweetie, I didn't want to make you cry. Ah, see, are you okay? Okay. And so we went back to the car after, I believe, 15 minutes we were there. And then Ben told me it was like, what did you say exactly? What were your exact words, Ben? Yeah, like you saw something and you felt something right into your heart. And from that moment, he understood exactly what I was talking about when I was making a cross or talking about um, my belief. And um, then it was such a nice and beautiful moment. Even though he always told me that he didn't believe, and I think that was a game changer for you, or yeah. Yeah. And after that, I took him a few times to the little chapel that my parents now burn the candle for Ben. So, yeah, it was a beautiful moment. Yeah. Ah. Thank you. Please go to Ben and big hug. Trust me, I will do. I will do. Okay, I will go and hug him. They want me to hug you. Over. Mm, yeah, but okay. Enough of that. I just made something. I didn't dress it up, but I put it together. It was an idea I had. Um, Let me tell you a little bit. This the Ben, we don't mind. Ah. No, I know. Genuine love is amazing. Yeah, that truly is. Yeah. Okay. Maybe around this time, maybe you don't know. I'm going to tell you. uh, when you are all in making summer cards, I'm already way up front with making Christmas themed dice and Halloween dice and or designs. Sorry, I'm not making the dice. I'm making the designs. So sellers were asking me for new Christmas dice. And I had something like, yeah, but there are so many Santas, so many this, so many that, so many of all of the same. And I had something like, okay, I want to make something in a Christmassy theme, but what should I make? It was a headbreaker. And then I thought, okay, during Christmas, a lot of you, not me, I have to admit, but a lot of you make cookies or Christmas cakes or bake a lot. So I designed this recipe stand, and the papers are stuck inside, so you can run through them. So you can wait a minute. I have to take the separate ones out so you can see it a little bit better. So you can run through them, and they are semi stuck inside. So they're not completely falling out if I tilt them. What did I do? I will show it to you, but I need to take them out of the carrier. I put in some pockets that hold each, let me call it a tag or a card, that hold each card. This is the front side. And so you stick your cards inside these slots. So like this. And then, because I could make them stuck inside the bottom, but then you couldn't change it up for another recipe, or if you make type errors or writing errors, that was something that I was thinking about, because I normally make a lot of mistakes and then I need to have a new card. And when it's stuck, I can't change it. So I made it like this. So there are slots, they fit in perfectly. This way, it makes it more fun, I think. Thank you. Thank you, Gavin. I love it. And the paper, where did you get the paper? I will go to the paper in a second. But what I also did, so I made these cards. The cut file is available in my Etsy shop. And this morning, Beki from Beki Store bought the file, including the stamp set. So you can make your own recipe cards just like I did. And they fit perfectly on these tags. You can do them front and back side if you want. It's just how you want it. But I thought, okay, only a card and a box with these items inside is a little bit, how do I say that? It's not my style. I want you guys to have something extra. So what I did is this, and I will show it to you. I also included a pocket with a little label inside, so that label can come out. So I made it snugly fit, and I used very thick paper so it doesn't slide out when you hold it upside down. But you can pierce a hole inside, put nice ribbons on it. You can make a hole at the side and put charms on it. You can decorate however you want to have it. And so you can choose if you want the pockets or not. The file is available in my Etsy store as a digital file, and Beki Cat will produce it into a die set. I don't think it will be a cheap set, but I think it will be a set that you can use a lot of times. And it's something different than just making a new sleigh or snowflakes or stuff like that. Not that I don't make those, but I think in the meanwhile I'm putting them all back in that I can show you what I'm doing. But this way they fit nicely into each pocket, and you can roam around. You can take one out if you want to have one at the front so you can read the recipe very well. That's possible. You can leave these pockets out if you want. I think they are convenient, and I made sure that 12 will fit in. So you can put 12 recipe cards inside. And um, in, as well in the cut file as in the die set, there will be a stamp and a die so you can make this recipe card. So thank you. Yeah, Leslie, they will be made, I think they will be ready in about 2 weeks, because I just this morning sent off the files to the seller. So the seller just received them. But yeah, you have a recipe card, and even the die alone for this will be very fun to use just on a card. You don't have to stamp the recipe stamp on it. But yeah, this is what I made, and I think it's fun. And I need to see how I'm going to embellish it. I'm thinking of using the baking dies that I designed for KS Craft. I think they will look lovely on top of this. But yeah, we in the Netherlands don't have all the ephemera pieces. I was looking at um, certain YouTube channels, and they all use those doodlebug and ephemera pieces, but we don't have those. So I have to do what I do the best and use my dies. Sometimes those ephemera pieces are convenient to have. It saves you a lot of time stamping and cutting and doing all that stuff. So I'm a little bit jealous when I see the new doodlebug um, design papers coming out with all the ephemera and extras. Trust me, I would wish to have a package like that. But yeah, you can't have it all, so I have to do with what I have. You can also use for large tags. Yeah, it's also a very nice tag. Yeah, and then you have three different ones. So in this set, three different tags. Normally you would already spend the 5 or 6 euros on one tag. So yeah, if you calculate that. I love it. Will it be in the Etsy shop? Tiffany, it's already in my Etsy store, and I put the link below in the description box. So yeah, Nicole, I'm loving the feet on the bottom of the box. Thank you. Oh, sorry, Laura. Yeah, those are metal feet that I just bought on AliExpress, and you can find loads of them. So, and I just hot glued them on. The box I designed myself, of course, and after I put it together, I just hot glued the legs onto it. And I think it makes the box more cute. I could make paper feet, but I thought this was for this box more cute. So I was also thinking of making a lid on top of this box, but then I had to make a lid that was very long. It would even make the set bigger and bigger, and I would have to make a bigger base so the box had something to lean on when you put it on top of this one. And I thought, no, I think this is better, because then you can see the recipes at once. Of course, I can design stuff like that, but I thought it was a little bit too much for just a recipe box, if you know what I mean. When things are good, don't change them. Well, that's what I learned. Yeah, so yeah, the only thing I made was the recipe stand, the card, and the takeaway box. I put them together, and I believe within, or at least the coming week, I will get in the new dice from the KLJYP store and the new dice for Beki Cat. And if you want to see them already, check the link that I put in the description box, but that link will only work if you look on a laptop or just a normal PC. It will not work when you look on your phone, just so you know, because then it's harder to give a link. I'm not good at giving phone links. I always give computer links. So I'm not so computer savvy at some points. I can design, but that stuff I want to know how it works. The same is with video editing. That's something that's on my wish list to learn, but we can't learn it. How do you say that? Fast enough? No, no, it's not what I wanted to say. Whatever, you know what I mean. Very handsome husband, sweet couple. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you so much. Yeah, we do our best, and that's all we can do, and hope for the best that he doesn't get any inflammation inside of his jaw. And yeah, hopefully um, he will be safe after 2 or 3 weeks, and hopefully his jaw will heal in the meantime, even if it's slower because of the chemo, but at least it's healing. So yeah, and the downside is his second chemo will be on his birthday. Oh no, the day before his birthday. Yeah,
if everything goes well.
Yeah, if everything goes well, he will get his second chemo on the 1st of October, and Ben's birthday is on the 2nd of October. So, yeah, I think he will sleep the most of the time on his birthday, but yeah, it's better than not having him at all, right? Hi, Cheryl. I made it too live, but maybe near the end. Yes, I'm almost done. Yeah, I know, Laura. I know, and that's why I want to learn. Is the takeaway box and the other item your Etsy shop also? No, Sonia. I get that question a lot. Not all the dice that I design, I put in my Etsy shop as a cut file, and that is the reason is all those tiny details. Those tiny details that are in a die, that's something a digital cutter doesn't cut well, no matter what brand you have, because the holes are so tiny. This is something only a die set can do, and I don't want to have the risk of people making it even smaller and then complain to me that the holes don't cut. Some people just don't know that it's not a problem I did in the design, but that it's the limits of a machine. And so that's why I do not put all stuff inside my Etsy shop. If I think a digital cutter will cut it perfectly or is able to cut it perfectly, then I will put it in my shop. It's just to prevent bad feedback, if you know what I mean. Happy birthday. Laura, you will be 62 on the 2nd of October. Yeah, 62 on the 2nd of October. So only 18, no, only 20 more days to go. I will have to watch the replay. No problem, Cheryl. And thank you for your email, sweetie. I read it, but I have so many emails to go through. Sweet people, thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for all your prayers and caring. And I will be back as soon as I'm able to, or have new dice, or, have a nice evening or day. It's evening in the Netherlands. That's why I say it. But a big kiss from me, and thank you for all you do.